the follow-up written, the tracker updated, the slides built, ready to share, all from one client relationship running through one platform. This video is sponsored by Genspark, and I'm going to show you exactly how that happened. Here's why this matters right now and not 6 months from now. Genspark crossed $250 million in revenue in about a year, and its valuation jumped to $2.6 billion in the last few months alone. That's a lot of professionals quietly switching over while you're still doing this by hand. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which 4 pieces of client busy work you can hand off the same way. If you run any kind of recurring client work, you know this pattern. Sessions go well, then life happens. Other clients, other deadlines. By the time you sit down to write the recap, you're reconstructing it, trying to remember where you left off. After 20 years of teaching and hundreds of hours testing AI inside my own coaching program, I've realized that the busy work around a client relationship eats more of the week than the actual coaching does. I run an 8-week program that helps service business owners use AI and YouTube together as an actual marketing engine for their business. For this video, I'm going to show you Genspark running behind the scenes on one real client relationship, with her name and details changed for privacy. Let's call her Diane. She's a real estate agent and a few weeks into the program. Everything you're about to see happens with every client in this program. Genspark is built on one AI workspace: Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, and a dozen other models, plus AI slides, AI sheets, and AI docs, an image and video generator, a website builder, even GenTeam, a shared team space for handing a task to a group of agents instead of just one. What Genspark really wins at is not having to switch between a stack of separate logins to get through a normal week of work. That breadth is what makes the next part possible, a newer feature inside it called SecondBrain, and the layer that actually acts on what it remembers, the new super agent. SecondBrain connects to the places your work already lives: Gmail, your calendar, your drive, wherever, and remembers what's in them. On its own, SecondBrain doesn't do anything with that memory. Super Agent is what reads what SecondBrain remembers and actually does the work: writing the email, updating the sheet, building the deck. For a client relationship like the one I run, that's 4 things off my plate every week: the update, the prep, the follow-up, and the file check I now hand to a team of agents. All 4 run through 4 different Genspark features: SecondBrain and Super Agent, GenTeam, AI Sheets, and AI Slides, all inside one workflow. To begin, there's a new Super Agent toggle next to the model selector on Genspark's home screen. I turn it on first. Every week, I could tell you roughly where a client stands in the program, but roughly isn't good enough. I asked Super Agent for Diane's actual status, pulling from everything SecondBrain remembers about her program. That's not me summarizing from memory. That's Super Agent reading the actual record SecondBrain already has and writing it up. Before every session, I used to spend about 10 or 15 minutes flipping back between old notes, trying to remember where we left off. I asked Super Agent to brief me on Thursday's session with Diane before it happened, using what SecondBrain knows about everything that came before. I read that once, and I walked into the session already caught up. This is the one that actually started this video. After a real session, I'm usually left with a rough, half-typed note, not a real paragraph, just shorthand. And turning that into an actual email is the kind of thing that would take up 20 minutes of my time that I'd rather keep. I gave SecondBrain those same rough notes to hold, then asked Super Agent to turn them into the email I'd normally write myself. That's an email that used to cost me real time at the end of a long day, and now costs me only 90 seconds of reading it over before I hit send. Some of this isn't a one-person job, even when it's just me running the show. Every client's first session produces documents that every future session depends on, and it's easy to lose track of whether they're actually complete and lined up with each other. Instead of reading through both myself, I dropped them into GenTeam channel and split the review across 2 agents at once, and got 2 different pieces of work back at the same time. But let's take it one step further and use 3 agents at the same time. This time, instead of just checking files and doing research, I want the team to actually help build part of Diane's first video. So I'm going to bring in 3 different roles: a copy agent, a research agent, and a design agent. And I'll give each one a different part of the job. The copy agent is going to write a 60-second intro script using Diane's client profile and intake questionnaire so it sounds like her. The research agent is going to pull 3 specific talking points from the neighborhood shortlist that an out-of-town buyer would actually care about. And the design agent is going to come up with a thumbnail concept using Diane's brand colors. Then I give them all the instructions at once. I give the copy agent the 60-second script instructions, the research agent instructions to pull 3 specific talking points, and the design agent to create the thumbnail concept using Diane's brand colors. As you can see, all 3 results are produced in the same workspace. Diane's 60-second script, 3 customer talking points, and a YouTube thumbnail concept, plus an image she can use as a foundation to a video's thumbnail. But 2 of the earlier answers don't have to just sit as text in a chat window. We can do more. Here's what happens when Super Agent takes them one step further. This next one's a different piece of Genspark, AI Sheets, an actual spreadsheet, not a chat window. The update on Diane doesn't have to be something I check one client at a time. I took that same status and asked Super Agent to send it into an AI Sheets tracker built to hold every client's progress, not just Diane's. Now, instead of checking one client individually every week, I've got one sheet that shows me the whole program at a glance, and I didn't have to type anything by hand. The prep brief doesn't have to stay something only I read myself. I asked Super Agent to take that same brief and turn it into the actual next step slides I put on screen with Diane during the session. That's the exact deck I'd pull up on our Zoom call. I didn't build it from a blank page. I used a skill I'd already set up once, so it pulled in the right template and the right layout. And I could still edit every word before the call. I just click the edit button and click on what I want to edit, whether that's text, color, or just about anything else you'd expect to be able to edit inside a presentation. And because it exports to more than one format, it doesn't matter if Diane's on a platform that wants a PDF or a laptop that wants an actual PowerPoint file. That skill is something worth pausing on. I didn't rebuild that slide's workflow for every client session after session. I built it once and saved it as a skill inside Genspark. If you want to skip building it yourself, the skill I use is linked in the description. You can save your own copy and swap in your own client details. One more thing worth knowing, since most other videos about tools like this leave it vague. There's a free plan to get started, and you can try Genspark with free credits available when you sign up. If you end up using it the same way I do every week across a full client list, the paid plan I'm on runs $19.99 a month, billed annually for 10,000 credits. There's a $39.99 tier with 21,000 credits, and an upper tier with 125,000 credits, all with the same access to Claude, GPT, Gemini, and the rest. Now, before I show you the last piece of this, if you found this video helpful, please give it a like or comment because it really does help this channel. Also, if you want to see more content just like this, click subscribe. Before, a session ending meant a list of things I still had to do that night. Now, it means reading one brief before the next one, and the rest is a quick read over instead of a rebuild. Everything you just watched, I built once and reuse every week. All of it ran inside one Genspark account. Try Genspark with free credits when you sign up through the link in the description.